Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I got something a little different. These two boxes behind me are not a tool haul. They are replacements for what's sitting next to them. So please stick around, check out the video, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, how's it going today? I hope everybody's doing well. So before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, and smush the bell notification icon for future updates. Alright. So, previous videos, couple episodes ago, picked up, I finally got them in the mail. So, I purchased these two switch tanks right here about 5.5 months ago, somewhere in there. It might be a little sooner, might be a little later, I don't remember, but I waited 4-something months to get them because I ordered them. 3 days later they were supposedly back ordered and were not available by International Tool. Had this whole ordeal with International Tool. You know, I kept contacting them, which is like pulling teeth. Finally got a hold of a lady named Stephanie. Stephanie Lee, I believe, is her name. And I've been going back and forth with emails and her, trying to figure out where's my order. I never received the gloves. The free gloves never showed up. I have a buddy named Jason Reynolds that did this same deal, but it was the Milwaukee Quick Lock string trimmer kits that came with the batteries. He, fortunately though, got his string trimmers like a couple days after he ordered them, and he got the gloves like a week later or something like that. Well, me, I ended up waiting 5.5 months. When I ordered them, they were not out of stock at all, period. And they became out of stock on back order, and that spiraled into a massive problem. That I'm still waiting for the gloves. I keep getting told by Stephanie that they will be, they're supposed to be sent this week. They never are. Next week, ask the same thing. Oh, they're supposed to be sent this week. They never are. So, to fast forward a little bit, I finally got them in the mail. The boxes, you guys, if you guys, you know, are around the channel long enough, you guys will know the videos that you see before this one will show the original boxes. Those boxes were pretty demolished. I sent pictures of the boxes because I had explained to Stephanie that I would like these rods right here, the sprayer ones, replaced. These rods you can literally untwist from the handle, the Milwaukee switch tank handles, and you can replace these. They're $25 for these rods from Home Depot and several other places. Milwaukee sells them separate from the main unit if you need to buy a replacement rod. Well, the reason I bought this bundle because I paid $407 out of my pocket, which actually the channel ended up paying for originally, and they had my money for 5.5 months, somewhere in there. And problem is that these rods are bent. So this one is actually, so this tank is my wife's tank. I actually painted it. I painted with some just permanent red marker. I put fertilizer on the top of hers, and then I painted all the lines on the opposite side of the tank. Red for hers, green for mine. That way I can tell them apart. Because, you know, Ryobi, Milwaukee, everybody's bright idea is to make the lines on these tanks, whether it's the Ryobi units or Milwaukee, this tank is opaque. It's not as opaque as everybody thinks. It's very hard to see liquid in this, especially if you're just putting water in it, or if you're mixing fertilizer as an example, because this was tested first. My wife used it the day that I did the videos for you guys. And fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, it's like some of it's brown depending on what it's for. If it's iron supplements fertilizer, it's this darkish brown color. But when you only need 4 tablespoons in a 4-gallon container, the water doesn't really change much color, so it's hard to tell. And Milwaukee's bright idea, Ryobi, they make these slightly opaque tanks, but they put lines on it so you can tell where 1, 2, 3, 4 gallon is, where the liters are. Problem is the lines are the same color as the tank. Well, anyways, just figured I'd throw that in there because this is kind of going to be a little rant and irritation video. Kind of a, you might want to watch out buying things from International Tools video. That's what this is. And this is probably my second video on ranting about the International Tool and their F-ups and everything else. So, the box that had the most damage had the least amount of damage. So, the one that I opened up that was the one for my wife, that I designated for my wife, there's 2 differences between them. So, this one is the one I designated to my wife. It has a harsher, kind of stiffer handle, where this one I designated to myself. It's got a really soft, easy to pull handle. This switch sticks also. So if you pull these back, okay, on this unit, which I designated to my wife, if you pull it back here, up at the top, it doesn't release. You actually have to pull it down here to get the button to release, and I'm sure you heard that. On the one I kept for myself, you can pull it up here and the button releases. So there's a flaw there. The main flaw was that this is the one that I opened up first in the previous videos. This is the one that had the most amount of damage on the boxes. So the boxes come like this. Brown box, says PO number, part number, description. So 320215920 is the PO number. Part number is 2820-20. Paul and Sam, or PS. Description: M18 backpack sprayer bare tool. Net weight 7.7 kilograms. Gross weight 10.5 kilograms. Because people read things in kilograms nowadays in America, which is bull. Carton number 783. This one's carton number 1205 of 2432. This one's 783 of 2432. Date code is 2051 for both of them. So the outer casing on this one, the outer brown box, was completely demolished, as well as there was giant holes in the Milwaukee box that was inside of it. Now where that hole was, multiple holes were, is on the corners where these wands were stored, disconnected from the handles. So funny thing is, the box that had the crush damage had the bent, extremely badly curved bent rod, or sprayer wand. The one that had the hole in it had the bent, crushed tip. So these little tips down here. So fast forward, I alert International Tool and I email Stephanie, and Stephanie lets me know, okay, well, can we get photos? And we'll go from there. I would love to help you. So I send her photos of the actual Milwaukee boxes and the units, and I send photos of the wands disconnected from the main units, sitting on this cart, showing that they're bent, and the one that my wife's one, the one I gave her, that has the really stiff handle, that has the really particular, you gotta pull the the handle in a specific spot to get it to release, because it won't release up here, but all the way down here it will. So the problem is that all I asked for from International Tool was 2 of these replacement wands. And it's not easy to tell, but you might be able to tell that they are slightly bent, both of them. So this is not going to be a tool haul because I didn't purchase these. These are 2 new Milwaukee switch tanks. So what happened is I spoke to Stephanie, I sent her the photos. I didn't hear back for like 2 weeks, at all. I'm at Home Depot, in that second week time, it was July 1st is when it was. July 1st, I'm at Home Depot picking up this Ryobi tool for my wife, which is the mister and fogger. And I was picking up this, which is the little chemical sprayer. And I was picking up a DeWalt tool, which is this guy right here, which is the power cleaner, and the Ryobi power cleaner. I picked up all in the same day. So I was there, paid for what I needed to. That morning, I put a bunch of money on my specific card, which is the card that I buy tools with. It's the card that I pay for supplies for the shops and everything for. So there was crap ton of money on the card because I paid the card back from the last time I had used it, like normal people do. So I went to go look at the card to go use my phone to go put some more money back on it because I had more money set aside in the savings account, particularly for picking up tools, which was some of the YouTube money that I got from YouTube. So I went to go put the YouTube money to pay for some of the Ryobi stuff that I picked up for my wife, as well as, the power cleaners that I picked up for myself, to give them a try. And I see $592.33 missing randomly. And I know that shouldn't have been missing because I didn't spend that. So I got out of Home Depot. I had already paid for everything. I walked to the vehicle. I drove 5 miles down the road, stopped at one of my banks. As I'm sitting in the bank, I called International Tool. The one time that somebody actually picked up when I called for a reason, to find out why money was pulled from my account that I didn't authorize. Well, come to find out, as I'm speaking to her, she's like, I don't know. I'd have to get off the phone with you and I have to go find out. So she had to go speak to another person, which his name popped up in the emails as Jared from Ram Tool. And somehow, because before Stephanie got off the phone with me, she's like, oh, well, that was supposed to be a return. We were returning the money for the damaged goods, blah, blah, blah. Well, I paid $407. And I believe it was $407 exactly and 99 cents is what it was. That's what I paid. And so why would you return me $592.33? And it didn't make any sense to me. And then I ended up speaking to Jared in an email because he randomly emails me. He says, oh, I'm so sorry, it's fixed. You were never supposed to be charged. The system made a mistake. You were not supposed to be charged for the replacements. They're sitting right there. Today is July 7th. Wednesday, July 7th. That's what today is. So, July 1st, this is when all this happened. Mistake was made. I was told by Stephanie that they had filed a claim with the information I sent them. They had filed a claim with United Postal Service. And United Postal Service is required to pay them back for the damaged goods that I received. And I had asked Stephanie on the phone, what am I supposed to do with these 2 tanks? All I wanted was 2 decent wands. not two wands that are pretty bent. And this nozzle is actually crooked. It actually wobbles when you turn the rod. This one, the rod is pretty curved. It's kind of hard to show because it's very small. And this rod is also curved. If you take a closer look, this rod is actually curving towards this switch tank. This one's curving towards this switch tank. It's not easy to show, but it is. This one is definitely worsely bent. And what I did is I took the worst bent one with the messed up nozzle and I put it on my wife's tank because she's only using fertilizer, and you know, if it spills or something happens to this rod or it doesn't spray properly, it's not going to hurt anything. And I put the wand that came in this switch tank on the one I designated for myself because it's straighter. The nozzle's not completely cocked and bent because I'm using pesticides. So the reason I changed them is this one I actually painted red Milwaukee. The Milwaukee logo, I actually painted it red with a red marker, and all the things on the outside, all the lines of, you know, the gallons, I painted in red. This one I actually painted in green, and I didn't paint the Milwaukee emblem or the switch tank emblem, so I know it was mine. But I designated one unit for myself for pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, you know, all these sides. And hers is for fertilizer only, which I marked up on the top, fertilizer. All I asked for was 2 wands. Stephanie told me that, oh, I'm so sorry, we don't have a way to send you just the wands. So I asked what's going to go on from here. 2 days went by, never got another response. Ever. 3-4 days went by. 2 weeks went by. The 2 weeks that went by after me sending the damage photos is when I ended up on July 1st calling, asking why there was money taken out of my account. I had paid $407.99 for these units. Then, which they had for 5 months. It was like 5 months, 2 weeks, and like a day, something like that. That's why I say 5.5 months. Then, because I didn't hear anything back, I figured, oh, just maybe they're busy. I'll just give them a day or 2 extra, blah, blah, blah. So, on July 1st, that's when I saw the money that was taken out. I got pissed off. Well, I got a call back stating there was a mistake made. They had put it into the system that UPS, a damage claim was filed against UPS or United Postal Service, and when they put it in the system, they went to bring up another order number to make another order number for 2 replacement units, but I was unaware of it. I didn't even know there was 2 replacement units because I hadn't heard from them in 2 weeks. So, unbeknownst to me, they were going to send me 2 brand new units because of the damages to these 2, which were very insignificant. Both of them spray, both of them function, they both take batteries, the bases aren't damaged. I just wanted 2 bent rods replaced. Simple. You send me $25 times 2 worth of rods, and the problem's fine. It's dealt with, taken care of. Well, they can't do that. They don't have access to be able to just send the accessories. All they carry is the switch tanks. So, when I finally find out that day when the money was taken out that 2 new switch tanks were being issued to me, and that the system made a mistake, the system had rang it up somehow as an order, and they recharged my card. Well, 2 days after these, because that day, which is funny because I had ordered these a long time ago. 3 days went by when I ordered these, and then they went on back order. there was no reason why they couldn't have sent me the 2 switch tanks at that time. And I tried to rectify this situation because I had told Stephanie, if for 3.5 months in, I'm just gonna, you know what, I want to cancel my order. But I'll give you another 2 days. I went to Home Depot to pick up 2 of them at their full price of $299, and the TTI rep at Home Depot told me that they all got recalled in a 17 or 60 or 70, I think it was, mile radius of where my normal store is, that there was something wrong with the plastic on the switch tanks. So then that option went out the door, and I was forced to wait for these to show up. So let's fast forward a little bit, and I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but fast forward a little bit. So I get off the phone with Stephanie, and she, in the same day of me calling and finding out why my card was charged for $592.33, an hour later, figures out the whole problem, apologizes, calls me back, says that I'm so sorry, we don't have the wands, we can't just replace the wands, I've already filed a claim with UPS, that was where the problem is in the system. System thought it was another order and it wasn't. I've already refunded the money. And I have a email being sent to you right now, as well as here's a tracking number. They had already had a tracking number for these 2 units in the boxes. Tracking number, everything, it was already shipped. And mind you, I was unaware of any tracking numbers. I was unaware that there was replacement because the conversation went dark for 2 weeks. So they could have emailed me and said, hey, look, you know, we have another replacement set for you, but this could happen. I was never warned. So 2 days after, which would have been the 3rd of July, the tracking number updates, gives me like 3 different cities and then 2 different states. That day, I got charged another $687.39. So mind you, I paid $400 for the 407. So 407 plus 889, or 689. I'm sorry, it's one of those days. So 689, I believe, is what I said the first time, and 39 cents. Plus 400, plus the 592. So let me put you guys down. So I just went and grabbed my phone real quick. So $407.99 plus $592.33. That's $1,000 right there. Plus 600. I think I said 89. I'm having one of those memory loss days. And 39 cents. It's $1,689.71 that I basically paid for these 2 switch tanks. It took my bank, because I was at the bank when I called them, and me calling Stephanie, I had flagged it as not authorized, as a dispute against the charge, and then had to call my bank back. Which they told me, don't worry about it, we're already investigating. So 2 days go by. On the 3rd, I get an email from my bank stating that they refunded another $689.39 plus the $592.32 because International Tool charged me a penny. So on top of charging me $592 plus $689, $592.33 plus $689.39, my bank actually had to give me the $689.39 back, and the $592.33 finally got returned to me, but 1 penny was actually charged. And then my bank contacted me and stated, hey, we're refunding you the penny as well, because I had set it up as a dispute for a charge, and the bank was looking out for every charge International Tool is doing. So I sent photos and information of everything that was going on, every charge that I received from International Tool system, and Stephanie told me, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know why you're being pennied and you're being charged pennies, and I don't understand why you were charged for $600 plus on top of the $592. We're talking like $1,200 if you round up the $592 and the $689. So you round the $689 to $690 and the $592 to $600. You know, that 6 and 6 is 12 plus $80. $90 is $1,290 that I was randomly charged. And the whole point I'm trying to make to you guys is, yes, I paid $407 for these two, and yes, I got 2 more for free because they're replacements of this one, even though these units work, other than the wands are messed up. So now I have no idea what I'm going to do with those. I don't know if I'm going to keep them. I don't know if I'm going to sell them. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. But I don't think if I open these boxes and the wands are the same, they're partially bent or something, well then there's no point to the whole ordeal. So I finally did get all the money back from my bank. And I sent this information about being pennied and more charges coming to Stephanie, and Stephanie contacts me and says, I'm so sorry, I would like to give you $20 in a refund for all the hassle you've gone through. $20? I spent 3.5 weeks waiting to get $1,290 back, and they want to comp me $20? And get this, Stephanie turns around and says, just send us a card number in an email. Any card number. It doesn't have to be the card number on file. Just send us a card number and we will refund you $20. And I told her in an email, point blank, so what? You want me to send you my card number over an email so you guys can send me $20 for my hassle, so that way you guys can keep my card on file, and anybody that is on the server that can physically access the email correspondence has access to my card number, so you guys can just randomly charge me again? And she's like, oh, well, we have a token system. None of the card numbers are in email or ever logged, blah blah blah. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't feel comfortable sending you my card, any card, in an email for any card number. Why don't you just refund the $20 to the card that you kept charging? That technically is on the order number. That's physically, you have access because I had an order. So I get an email back stating, oh, I'm so sorry, I understand you don't feel comfortable with providing your card over email. Go ahead and let us know, and I can give you a call and we can do it over the phone and get you some money back for your troubles. What was more troubling to me was not the fact that she offered me $20. It was the fact that I was out of $1,200 plus for almost a month, because I use an American Express card, which is my business card, and it takes a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks to get returns money or a charge to flake off. So I wasn't charged. It did flake off, but it flaked off because my bank caught it, because I alerted them of the problem. So I understand this has been a long video. It's just a rant video in a sense. I'm a little irritated. Forewarning, do not buy from International Tool. I don't care how good the deal is. This is probably the second or third or more time I've had an issue with International Tool. The very first time was I bought the 12 amp hour battery, got a free 8 amp hour battery for $149, and I didn't see that for 8 months. It just, the order got lost, and I had to speak to the shipping department in International Tool, and that happened, and that was before International Tool was bought by another company. So, forewarning, I honestly believe that everybody should be very cautious about International Tool. Look up their reviews on the Better Business Bureau. Look up their reviews on Facebook. There's hundreds of thousands of complaints on Facebook about situations like this. Now, mind you, I asked. I said, did they come from Milwaukee damaged, or did they come from you damaged, or did they come from you? Were they damaged by UPS? And she's like, well, we didn't leave our warehouse like that. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe that crap. Because I go to Home Depot all the time, and I ask, well, why is this box damaged? Oh, it came from the manufacturer that way. You know dang well that some guy at Home Depot was having a crappy day when he was unloading the pallet and started throwing tools around. And that's why the boxes were damaged. Everybody wants to blame the manufacturer because it was shipped from them and it's their fault. You know, I don't believe that. It's everybody's fault. It's the airline's fault that shipped it here if they shipped it here on a plane. It's Home Depot's fault if they're the ones that were careless and didn't care. It's Milwaukee's fault if Milwaukee was careless when they were moving it around their warehouse. If they damaged the box, it's their fault. It's International Tool's fault if they're the ones that damaged it. People don't take responsibility. Everybody seems to just, oh, well, it's not my fault, it's their fault. Now, mind you, in my area, UPS is the worst company you can go with to ship something because they always drop something off. It could say in orange, on an orange sticker with white lettering, says fragile, and it will be the most damaged box that shows up at your door here. I do not like UPS. I don't have any issues ever with FedEx here. I have damage issues with UPS and United States Postal Service, USPS. But just want this to be a lesson to everybody. Maybe you guys can learn from my mistakes. Be very vigilant when you buy from International Tool, because ultimately my bank is the reason that I got my money back, because the money came back whether Stephanie told me on the phone that the charges were reversed and that they had canceled that charge. It didn't really matter because I spoke to my bank the same day I spoke to them. So until I get proof from International Tool, which I will probably never get, that they actually reversed the charge, I'm going to assume that my bank, Wells Fargo, is the reason why I got my money back. And it was pretty harsh because I used that card to buy tools. I use it to buy products for the shops. And I ended up having to use some money from my wife to be able to get products for the shops because I usually buy the products on that card. And it kind of set me back. I was still able to pay my employees, no issue. It was just a card that I used for purchasing supplies and personal items, garden items for my wife, tools for me, tools for my employees. But to me, that's a problem, you know. And let me set this down and try to lean. Both of these boxes are falling. So I kind of lean that box that way. And I want to show you real quick what I did. And it might be helpful to you guys, I don't know. But, so this is the tank that I physically have. It has a line right here. and it's extremely hard to see. I'm sure you guys can't see it. There's a line here with a lock emblem and an unlock emblem. There's the Milwaukee logo, which you could probably see the embossing if I angle the camera. Then there's the switch tank. And then right here, the reason you can see all these is because I took a green Milwaukee Inkzol marker and I marked all of these. And they're rough, but I can at least read it. And the same with this one. So I know this one right here is mine. And the other way I can tell is this switch pulls in softer. And I can unlock it if it's locked. Like that. If it's locked, I push that pin in to lock the trigger down. I can unlock it from up here. So this one, I marked on the top with fertilizer. I actually, you know, the unlocked lock is up here. I didn't color those, but I colored the Milwaukee logo. I left the switch tank alone because I got lazy. But on the side, this is all red. So I marked it red so that way it's easy to view for my wife, because she is kind of colorblind, so she can see red better than green. So I'll probably cut these boxes open on a different video, just show you guys that there is 2 new boxes of Milwaukee switch tanks, but I'm probably not going to unbox them because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. I'm thinking about selling them. I don't know. I don't need 4 mil. It's basically this whole unit. So it's the power base and the jug. And if I was to keep them, the power bases would basically be thrown in a closet or in the barn, the tool barn, and never ever be used unless these died. Because all I would use out of these 2 complete units, because it's a base, and they don't sell the switch tank as just the power base. They sell it with a tank. So if I was to use these 2, it would just be to pull the tanks off to use them for something else. You know, this one's pesticide, this one's herbicide, this one's insecticide. You know, this one is my wife's, it's fertilizer. That would be the only reason I'd use it. But I do appreciate you guys listening to my frustrations. Down below, leave comments. Have you ever had a bad experience with International Tool? I know lots of people that go to Tool Boss's channel. I'll leave a link up here for you guys that say International Tool has screwed them on multiple occasions as well. If you guys are from you guys are from Tool Boss's channel, or you guys are from VCG Construction, you know, you guys hang out in those channels, you know me very well. I go over there also. Leave me comments. What are your experiences? What things have you had issues with? Have you had great success with International Tool? I would like to know. I do appreciate your guys' time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Smoosh the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, my Acme Tools affiliate links, my DJI Electronics affiliate links, as well as my Ohio Power Tools affiliate links. And one last thing, if you guys want to buy tools, and you guys buy a lot of tools, Acme Tools and Ohio Power Tools, 2 of my affiliates, they are great companies to work with. They pick up the phone. It's not one of those one person, because International Tool, from what I was told, is such a small business that Stephanie Lee is the only person that answers emails, and she's the only person that picks up phone calls, and 99% of the time the phone just rings and rings and rings, and then goes to voicemail, and it never picks up. And 90% of the time, when you call the main number, because I have Stephanie Lee's number, but if you call the main number, that is forwarded to her phone number. And funny thing is Stephanie Lee's in Alabama, and International Tool is in Florida. So the main phone number, and their Florida Davie store is now closed, and that was also a number that was forwarded to her cell phone. So you used to call International Tool and you get a International Tool message, blah blah blah, and you'll push this number for this, push that number for that, blah blah blah. That number never worked. When you pushed 1 to speak to customer service, you never ever got anybody at the Davy store, and you never ever got any other person. And when you did finally get somebody, it was 3, 4 weeks, 5 months into your order or whatever. So my suggestion, if you guys want to buy tools, anything that I show on the channel, use the Acme tools or the Ohio Power Tools links. When you call their phone number, they answer. Always. And they're always respectful, they're always helpful, and if you have an issue, they always try to solve it. So, I hope this information was helpful. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Now I have 4 Milwaukee switch tanks for $407.99, which I was then charged. On top of that, that's something I didn't mention. But I went to go look at my receipt because I had an account with International Tool. I logged in, clicked on order history, went to look up this receipt right here. And the other shady crap that they did is that my receipt that said $407.99, which is an invoice. Once it was charged, it shouldn't be able to be changed. Well, that invoice, when I went in to see my original order, my original order showed these two for $407.99. Well, there was a secondary order, which I'm assuming is these two because it had a tracking number underneath it that said replacement order. They charged me 2 pennies, 1 penny per unit for the replacements. And then my invoice reflected a totally new price. Not the new price of the 2 pennies added to it, which would have been $408 and a penny. It actually showed $900. So on top of the shadiness that I have experienced, my invoice was altered. And that's another reason why you should not trust International Tool. But as I said before, go check out the affiliate links, guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Smush the bell notification icon if things like this is helpful to any of you. It is very much appreciated. Want to say thank you to the members of the channel, which is Lawn Care Juggernaut and Polar Bear Ed. I will put Lawn Care Juggernaut's YouTube channel up here. I will put his The Boring channel up here as well. Kevin has both of those channels. And I'll put Ed's channel up here with a video, a popular video I liked from Ed. I'll put up here. And I'll put one video of each for Kevin's channels. For one from Lawn Care Juggernaut and one for The Boring channel. A video for you guys to watch. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace!